breath work, otherwise known as pranayama. So prana is the vital life force energy that we have moving through our bodies. There are a lot of contraindications to people who shouldn't practice breath work or should maybe take extra caution when practicing breath work. So anybody with high blood pressure, heart disease, hernias, ulcers, a history of epilepsy, vertigo, syncope. If you have any questions, you can always contact me directly. Now, there are two types of pranayamas, two main types, the heating and the cooling. Some of the cooling pranayamas might be able to be done based on the severity of whatever diagnosis you have that I've listed, or whatever you have that you feel excludes you from this particular practice. You can use our breath to balance the body, to energize it, to calm it down, to sleep, to help it get focused. Any little practice that you can incorporate that really allows for more breath moving throughout the body can only benefit you, and they can all be used inside the bedroom, outside the bedroom, but just to gain that awareness. I recommend for all of these practices, you watch the video, you try them on your own for maybe 5 minutes, and do that a few times before you do introduce a partner or a longer session into your practice, just to kind of see how your body's going to respond, how you're going to feel after it. Circle breathing, this is something that can be done with your partner, also can be done in the yab yum position. What you're doing is you're breathing between your heart circle and the sex organ of your partner. Okay, so this is the circle that you're forming. Partner exhales, that's when you take your inhale almost as if you're absorbing that energy, moving it through your own genitals, and then sending it to your partner. So with your exhale, they then inhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Set a timer and just practice this. Practice this giving and receiving of breath, whether it be to somebody else or just the universe, the higher power, your spirit, whatever you choose it to be. Give and receive these breaths, this energy to that source. Box breathing is something that is very common for breathwork practices. You simply inhale for, let's say, 4 seconds. You hold the breath in for 4 seconds. You exhale for 4 seconds. You hold the breath out for 4 seconds. So these two here, areas of retention where you have the breath inside your belly and you have the breath outside of your belly. Now the 4 seconds can be any amount of seconds. The box is essentially that it's the same on all sides. Try this one on your own. Start with maybe 2 to 3 to 4 seconds. See if you can't work your way up. Really challenge yourself and your lungs here. Play around with those sensations. Lion's breath. So this one is not for the shy or the faint of heart. This is another heated pranayama. If you need a boost of energy or you really need to get something out, you're gonna feel a little uncomfortable in this one, a little bit silly. You can do it just in a seated position, or you can actually do this in hero pose. So up on your knees. You are gonna wanna stick your tongue out the whole time, but obviously because I'm talking, my tongue's gonna have to go back in my mouth at some point. But what you're gonna do, and like I said, you're gonna feel a little silly, get somewhere where people can't hear you. So you're gonna widen your eyes and look up and stick your tongue out. Okay, so this is like a really forceful engaging of the eyes and the tongue. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna inhale and then exhale with an audible sound. So really letting out that heat, letting out that energy. So we're gonna do a couple rounds together and then, shut off the camera. Do it yourself. Keep your tongue out, your eyes, your gaze is always going to stay upward, spine straight, but you can lean forward a little bit on the and you just want to focus on letting out that sound. Okay, you're getting something out here. So remember, we exhale completely, empty our tank, tongue goes out, eyes go up, wide, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, tongue still out. Exhale. Inhale, try inhaling through the nose. Out, exhale. the immediate cooling of your throat because you are expelling this air directly out, but also the heating of the inside. Okay, so the heating of that inner core as we're working this. You'll notice I kind of rock back and forth, I get into it. So another way to maintain that posture is just engage cactus arms. So same with that tilt up, eyes wide, gaze lifted, inhale, exhale. Try it yourself. Take a few seconds of integration. See how you feel after this heated pranayama lion's breath. Alternate nostril breathing. It can also be called anulam vilam or nadi shodhana, but those are going to be the Sanskrit words for alternate nostril breathing. This is a balancing pranayama. It can help balance your nervous system. It helps to lower your stress response, so making you a little bit less reactive. It can help you just, like any of these pranayamas, bring a little bit more awareness to your body, to the breath, to that connection. Two sides, the two nostrils represent the two sides of our body. The Ida and the Pingala, sort of the duality that we have going on in our body. So when we engage in this pranayama, what we're doing is we are balancing those two sides. So contraindications, as I talked about in the first section, basically anybody with high blood pressure or any kind of respiratory conditions, anybody with elevated blood pressure, I do recommend that you start with about 2 to 3 seconds for holding your breath in these cycles, and then work your way up if you can. What we're gonna do, and you're gonna just listen to me first, and then we're gonna do a few rounds together, and then, like I said before, I recommend you just set a timer, 5-10 minutes, and sit down and practice for yourself. Before you start any of these, exhaling completely, and then what you're taking is your right thumb and then your right ring finger. You're gonna be closing one nostril at a time. Now you'll see these two fingers, they kind of get in the way, so you can either lower them like this, or you can just place them right here in the position of your third eye, so just resting them gently. We always end with exhaling on the left-hand side. We always start with inhaling on the right-hand side. The right-hand side is the active side. I recommend that you keep tissues around when you're doing breath work. The flow, alternate nostril breathing, anulam vilam or nadi shodhana. Gonna exhale completely. Taking your right thumb, closing your right nostril, keeping your spine straight. Inhale through the left hand side. Plugging your nose. And exhaling out the right hand side. Holding the breath out. Inhale. Plugging our nose before we exhale out of the left hand side. Keeping your eyes closed. Soft gaze, left hand down on your knee. Inhale through the left hand side. And exhale through the right hand side. Inhale. Switching sides. Exhale. Maybe allowing a little bit more time and space for these breaths. Inhale on the left side. Plugging our nose while we retain our breath before we exhale on the right hand side. Holding out, inhale. Holding in, we switch. Exhale on the left hand side. Keep your eyes closed for a few minutes. Just notice the sensations going on in your body. Do you feel more balanced? Did you notice a difficulty with one side or the other? Simply observing what's going on in your body. When you're ready, opening your eyes. Whenever you're finished, you just want to take a couple seconds of integration. With anything that you do, is take a couple seconds, a couple minutes after you're finished to integrate it, to feel how you feel once you've done it.